Alright, what's going on YouTube? Commando is back. I got another video for you guys on this SUBOX mini. Give you a little bit of an update here. Forget my graphics, I was actually running my streaming earlier, so all that information at the bottom is for my stream. I'm trying to keep the vaping channel and the video game stuff separately. Yes, I do play a lot of video games. But you can check me out on those channels if you like. So you guys know earlier, about a month ago, I posted a video on YouTube about the resistance jumping on the coils. Every time I put a coil, it would be jumping. And I'm going to show you a video. This video I'm about to show you, I took it right before I did the somewhat fix to this tank. So let's check out this video. It's the same setup that I have right now. And you can see the resistance is jumping from, it's staying at around 1.2, 1.1. There's a 1.9. There you go, 1.8. So it's jumping all over the place. So this was the updated tank. And what I mean by updated tank is originally when I got the SUBOX kit, it started jumping resistance right away. Like as soon as I got it, I noticed that the resistance was hovering around a 0.8 and up. And I originally talked to the shop owners, and they didn't want to replace it. They didn't have a replacement or anything like that. But after talking to them, they actually gave me a brand new tank, a new coil, and everything, and it was working fine for about maybe since 3 weeks. It was working fine for about 3 weeks, but I noticed the resistance was at like from 0.6, and then it started going to 0.8. It then started jumping up higher and higher, and that video, I just took that video on my cell phone before I started doing this, before I started doing the fix. So hopefully this fix, if you're having resistance, the resistance is jumping on you on your Subtank, maybe this will help you out. So hopefully this will help some of you guys out. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna unscrew it, and I'll show you real quick right here. And I didn't screw it in all the way. There we go. It's 0.6. It's stable 0.6. It'll jump up to 0.7 every once in a blue moon, but for the most part, you guys can't hear it, but here, let me see. Put it up to the microphone. There we go. But it's a 0.6, and it's beautiful. It vapes fantastic. No issues with it. I'm firing it, letting it go. See the battery changes. There you go. There's the bar indicator. Press it. There you go. It's flooding a little bit. So we're going to go ahead and take it off this mod. There you go. There's no resistance, so it reads the 9.9 on the box. So we're going to take it off. We're going to set this mod to the side. So here's what I did. And what you're going to need to do this is a pair of needle nose locking pliers and a second set of locking pliers. Hopefully your second set of locking pliers, if you have some that are rubber tipped, I highly suggest use rubber tip ones because you don't want to fuck up threading. So we're going to go ahead and unscrew this tank. There we go. We're going to unscrew it. There we go. We're going to put this up here. Hopefully it doesn't fall over. And we're going to take off this coil. I actually cut my finger trying to do this process without the pliers, so I don't recommend you guys do it without pliers. So here's the base of the Subtank. This is the Subtank Mini, by the way. What I noticed is when I was using it maybe a couple days ago, is there when I would switch the AFC, turn it, and I can't turn it right now because it's a pain in the butt to do it without the actual tank here. I noticed that there was e-liquid in there, and I was like, I would put water in it, shake it, and do all that kind of stuff, try to dry it out, try to put like a towel in here, but it's like impossible to do. On the camera on YouTube, this looks like ginormous, but in real life it's it's a pretty small area. So I couldn't get on there, and I was looking to see how you would take this off, and you can actually take this apart. The only problem is when you originally get the tank, it's screwed in there so tight you can't take it off with your hands. It's like impossible. So, and I kind of messed up my thumb doing it too. So what I did is with the locking pliers, if you can see down in here where the your pre-made coils screw in, the threads are on the inside. On the outside there's nothing, and then out here is the part where you screw in the base of the tank onto there. And here's the threading for the base of the tank, and here's the outside threadings where it fits in. So what I did is I grabbed the pair of needle nose locking pliers, and I just went inside, and let me see if I can get it in here. Sorry, the lighting is really still pretty bad. So I went in here and I locked them into place. like so, right? It's not going anywhere. And then what I did is, and these are the only locking pliers I have. So I kind of wound up scratching the 510. See if you can see it right there. I kind of messed them up a little bit, but it's not too bad. It still screws into the mod, no problem. So what I did was I just put the other locking pliers on here, locked them into place, and then started unscrewing it. So I started taking the top piece of that base off until I can do it with my hands. So until I was able to do it with my hands. Sorry, my grammar's taking a shit today. Anyways, so I unscrewed a little bit. What you're going to want to do after you untighten it and you get a couple turns in there, you're going to want to hold the AFC ring and slowly start removing the top portion of the base. I'm trying to keep everything in frame here. So here's the top portion of the base, and we're going to set this down a little bit. So this is what it looks like. That's where your coil drops into, where it gets the air from, the air notches. So if you put the coil on, and I'll show you this. I'll try to make this video as quick as possible. And that's how the coil fits in there. So it draws the air in through here, through the bottom, through the notches to get to the other notches that your coil has on there. So there you go. So we're gonna put this to the side. Let me clean my hands a little bit. So if you notice, here's the rest of the base now. If you notice, there's some condensation in there, and that's normal because while you're vaping or you stop vaping and the coil is cooling down after you fired it, there's still some vapor in there that comes down to the bottom of the base. So at this point, what you're going to want to do is, if you can, set it on a surface and slowly raise the airflow control ring, raise it up here. So now you got it. And you want to be careful. The reason why you want to be careful is if you notice, there is a ball bearing right there. And underneath that ball bearing is a spring. You lose that, you're not going to be able to keep your airflow adjustment in place. It's just going to spin. So you want to be very, very careful. I'm not going to take it out because then I'm going to mess it up. And what I started to do is just clean the outside. I took the ball bearing off, left the spring that's underneath the ball bearing in there. Took it off, cleaned everything with a towel. You can use a regular towel or a paper towel, whatever you desire. Cleaned it all up, put it aside. I took out the pin also. I took the pin out, cleaned that 510 area out. And then on the AFC ring, I cleaned the inside. There was e-liquid all over the inside on it as well, so I cleaned that too. These notches, if you're trying to put it back together, just remember these little notches here go face down towards the bottom, towards the 510, because that's what where the ball bearing sits in these notches to keep your AFC in place, so you keep the adjustment that you want. So after I cleaned in everything, you know, you can go in, blah, 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 clean it all up, do all that good stuff. After you're done, you want to put it back again, those notches face down. And where's the ball bearing? There's the ball bearing right there, face down. You can put it anywhere you want, just make sure you slide it down and you don't lose that ball bearing. So it's not quite adjusted, but it doesn't matter, not yet anyways. So once you're done cleaning that, you're going to put the top portion of the base back on here. I'm going to back it up a little bit because I want to catch the threads right there. You go. Screw it back in, and you want to screw it in about as hand tight as you can. You don't have to go all crazy on it. So okay, now it's back together, and we're gonna put our coil back in, screw that back into place. I have ejuice all over my hands. It's always a pain in the butt when you got ejuice. Let me clean this out of here. Shout outs to Demonic Vapes. I met these guys at ECC. They gave me this nice little vape rag. So let me put some juice in my tank because it's kind of empty, and I'm using this Magic Elixir RY4X2. Shout outs to those guys. I actually met them at ECC as well. Talked to the guy that was at the booth for quite some time. I actually enjoy their juice. It's tobacco with bourbon-ish type of a taste. So put a little bit in here. I don't need to put too much. So there we go. That should do it. Put this aside. We're going to screw the base back on to the tank, the glass portion, the top piece, and there we go. And if you notice, let me see if I can find it. Can we see it from here? Just so you know, it's a 0.5 ohm coil. I can't see it in this. No, I can't see it. It's a .5 ohm coil, so you really can't see it. There you go. You can see the 0.5 down there at the bottom, kind of. All right, we're gonna screw it back onto the mod. And then we're gonna fire it. There you go, 0.6. And it's been working fine ever since I cleaned out the AFC area. So, you know, go ahead and give it a try. If your resistance is jumping all over the place, give it a shot. It doesn't hurt. I've tried messing with the O-rings and the 510 rubber grommet, all that stuff, and it never worked until I took apart the AFC, the base and the AFC ring, cleaned it out, put it back together, and it's been working fine ever since. So there you go, man. I hope some of you guys that are having the resistance issue try it out. Hopefully it fixes that and you guys can continue vaping, because I know when the resistance is jumping, you never get a good vape out of the tank because your coil is kind of hot spotting inside. You can't really tell because it's all you know, pre-made coils, so you really can't tell. Also, for those of you that told me to try the rebuildable base, when I put the rebuildable base in here, it also started jumping in resistance. So I had the same issue even with the rebuildable base, and I made a 0.9 ohm coil and it would jump resistance as well. So I would suggest try that if you're having issues with that, and hopefully it works out for you. Again, you're going to need a smaller piece, a smaller needle nose locking pliers, so you can hold one side of the base, the top side of the base, and just remember not to grab the threads on the outside of the top portion. You want the inside where there's no threads. And then you're going to need some regular locking pliers for the 510. Just if you can, try to get some that are rubber tipped. If not, you don't want to, you know, wind up screwing the 510 and then not be able to put tank back on your mod. It's a pain in the ass. Alright guys, that is it for this video. I hope this is helpful to some of you guys. I didn't edit the video, I just did it right away because I wanted to get this out, because I've been vaping on this for I think 3 days already, no problems. So I was confident enough to make this video for you guys, and there you go. It is 0.6. It's working fabulous, no problems. All right, thank you everybody so much for watching the video, and I hope I can provide you guys with more content in the future. Let me know if this helps you out down there in the comment section. Thumbs this bitch up if it works for you. All right, Commando's out of here. I'll catch you guys next time. Happy vaping.